So when I first started out in sales, I spent years missing opportunity upon opportunity, all because of the way that I was looking at things. And my perspective for starting out was it was a zero sum game, as if losing a sale meant that I was deflated. And I remember blaming everyone and anyone but me for not getting that sale and not looking at reality for what it was. Um, at that time, it was a win or lose situation, but eventually I got to this place where I realized that that perspective was not helpful at all, because holding that perspective didn't make me um, sell anymore, and it also didn't help create any more value when it comes to helping other people or being able to better understand situations or learn from bad situations. So that's when I shifted my mindset from a win or lose to a win or learn mindset. And to me, for example, looking at a lost sale as an example, that would be an opportunity to learn what the client values the most and kind of build from that, instead of looking at your competition as these groups of people trying to take from you. How about consider them a valuable resource that you can include them into the work that you're doing? A great example of this happened to me last weekend with Home Depot. So I was working with Home Depot. I was texting them, which is a great feature, by the way. If you're like me and you don't know anything when it comes to renovating a house, you can text someone at Home Depot at the comfort of your own house, and you can learn what products or services that you need to get your house in a better place. But I digress. I was working with Home Depot. I needed a specific light bulb that they didn't have, and they texted me a link to Lowe's. And that type of customer service made me feel like they were putting what I needed paramount. And because of that, I'll always consider them first, because they did the same for me. And I'm titling this episode Mistaken Opportunity because of the semantics of the word mistaken. I mean, if you break it down, mistaken. And because of that, to me, there's latent opportunity in the situations where we don't see the situation as being ideal. And by tweaking our mindset, by tweaking our perspective, just to more of a more helpful and long-term view, there's latent opportunity there that we can take advantage of that is missed by having a negative mindset. We have the ability to choose how we're going to look at whatever we don't like. So why not choose the most helpful perspective for the long term? Another example that comes to mind is the week before I got married, my wife had bought a $200 gold ring. And when the ring came a week before the wedding, tried it on, it was too small. So we went to the store, explained to them the situation. They had it expedited to get the ring to fit the proper size. And right before rehearsal, which was like 2 days before the wedding, we tried on the updated ring, and again, it was too small. So we wanted to get something just as a placeholder for the wedding ceremony, and we weren't sure what we were going to do. We were grocery shopping at Walmart, and we walked past the jewelry section, and we found a like blackish silver ring for $35, and we bought that instead. And I'm looking at it as I'm talking to you 3 years later. I've kept it ever since. I've gotten so many compliments on it. And as a result, we saved $165, all because we decided to look at things in a different way and uncover the opportunity that was right available to us. Another example I think of is how David Goggins, in his book, Can't Hurt Me. If you're not familiar with David, he's a former Navy SEAL, ultra endurance athlete. He talks about when people get hurt, they have the opportunity to work on other things. So if you're a runner and you get hurt, well, that's an opportunity for you to do some more stretching, do some more yoga, focus on the areas that are where you're vulnerable. That injury gives you the time to prioritize and execute accordingly. And then thinking of Frederick Douglass and his autobiography, he talks about a situation where his slave owner, the wife of the slave owner, was teaching him how to read, teaching him his ABCs. And the owner, when he found out about this, he reprimanded his wife right in front of Frederick. And he was talking about how that if you gave any type of education to a black person, they're going to want more and more and more. And because of this, they're going to feel bad about their situation, or they're going to want to try to escape. And saying this in front of Frederick, seeing his teacher being reprimanded, and being told that she was forbidden to teach him, that didn't diffuse Frederick's urge to learn. What it did is it highlighted how important education is, and to him that lit a fire to continue to learn more as to why it was so important to his slave owner to keep him from knowing how to read. So right there was a great opportunity. It was a bad situation that Frederick actually flipped and taught himself how to read, which eventually led to his freedom. And again, this goes back to how we want to look at things, and we have the ability to choose how we're going to look at things. However, this isn't to say that being irrational is the route to go. Being irrational is short-term, and being honest about the way things are is long-term. And I believe that honesty mixed with endurance is required to seize opportunity and overcome current obstacles. And that's the long-term view of things. And it makes me think of what I was taught by my father, who said that, if anyone else has done it, that means I can do it, right? And that's similar to a quote from Marcus Aurelius, a former Roman emperor, who writes, "Not to assume it's impossible because you find it hard, but to recognize that if it's humanly possible, you can do it too," end quote. And that's this idea of, if you're not breaking the laws of physics and if someone else has done it before you, well, if that's the case, it's only a matter of time, persistence, and energy for you to achieve whatever it is that you need to achieve. And it might start with the small steps. And the smallest step is changing your mindset from an all or nothing, a win or lose, more towards a win or learn opportunity, to take advantage and take the opportunity and not leave it missed for no one to build, grow, or learn from. So with that, think about over the next week, the things that pop up that you don't like. Where's the silver lining in it? How does it highlight your ability to choose? And how are you going to choose to build off of it and take the opportunity that's at hand? Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your attention. I hope you're staying well and sane. Until next time, have a good week.